We steal the waves in the air and we never give them back. We are.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are.
Lofi Poli Sci. Welcome everyone to the Lofi Poli Sci podcast. I'm your host, Michael Pickering. That's right. Lo-fi as in low fidelity, low quality, in your face, messy as can be, global news show. It's Tuesday, Lo-Fi Nation, and you know what that means. It's time for Tuesday's Top 10 list. And a special thank you to Nathan for suggesting this list via Instagram. And I hope you enjoy the direction I take with it. Today's Top 10 list, the 10 most important protests globally of 2021. A subjective list, to say the least. But wow, how are we going to decide which is the most important compared to others? Well, no justification will be sufficient for the list that is about to come. I'll say that up front. And simply say, we'll save that conversation for after. But now to the list, and coming in, and tied for number 10 is Germany, and almost everywhere for anti-lockdown protest. That's right, people are pissed about staying home, everywhere around the world. Number 8, the United States, and the protests leading up to the storming of the Capitol during election count. This is representative of many places around the world that don't like election season. Number 7, India's farmers' protest about new laws that hurt local farmers. I mean, really, they made a tractor caravan that encircled large areas. Pretty amazing stuff. Number 6, Thailand's pro-democracy protest. Been going on for so long? We've talked about it so much. We've got to keep that coverage rolling. And now to our top 5. Number 5, Belarus's anti-Lukashenko protest. Been happening since August election. Quieted down for the winter, but surely will return this summer. Number 4, Russia's pro-Navalny protest. They just locked up over 1,400 people over the past week for attending these protests. And really, you knew this was going to show up on the list. Number 3, Hong Kong's pro-democracy protest. While it seems this protest movement has lost, the people of Hong Kong, they're keeping hope alive. Number 2, Myanmar's anti-military coup protest. And since February 1st, when the coup took place this year, the military have taken over 700 people's lives. And these protests are still going strong. And coming in at number 1, and the most important protest of 2021 so far, the women's rights protest in Mexico City, Mexico, for International Women's Day, March 8th, 2021. Germany and everywhere, the US, India, Thailand, Belarus, Russia, Hong Kong, Myanmar, Mexico. So many places, so many protests, and yet so many left unmentioned. Let's dig into it. So why these particular protests, you may first ask? In large part, it's because of what they represent, and because they are all representative of larger global protest movements happening today. People are tired of lockdown. People are tired of elections. People are tired of shitty laws that hurt more than they help. People are tired of government stealing democracy and still calling it democracy. People are tired of the same authoritarian leaders not leaving power after 20 or 30 years. People are tired of military coups. People are tired of not getting the respect that all human beings deserve. All of these protests are important because all over the world, people are tired in 2021. People in many places are without hope. They're without a good alternative, without a chance for something better. And in the face of that, for all the reasons and more that we've talked about, people take to the streets to make their voices heard. All of these protests are important, regardless of if we agree with what the protesters are actually protesting. But they're important because they symbolize global fatigue and people's willingness, whether in a free democracy like Germany or a hardcore authoritarian regime like Russia. But people's willingness to take their message to the world is ever present today. All that being said, why the Women's March protest in Mexico City for International Women's Day as our number 1? Simple. This protest represents that half the population of the planet is still fighting for their voices to be heard. Now you tell me, what other protest movement deserves to be number 1? Because I'll tell you, this movement exists in all countries around the world, regardless of democracy or not, regardless of development or not, rich or not, regardless of anything. Women, half the population of the earth. Our mothers, our sisters, our cousins, our friends, people, human beings, individuals, our people. You feel me? And that's this Tuesday's Top 10 list. Peace and well-being to all my human beings out there. Much love, and always the best. Pickering, signing off.